Hello, and thank you so much for joining me today. I want to talk about the importance of detoxing as well as some plant allies that can help you in your everyday modern life practice and routine, your rituals, because everything is energy and we can create rituals and live by them. It's like the code. So I'm going to move. I went to the market last night and I got many plant allies like tarragon and bay laurel, as well as rosemary. And I want to say, if you are a medicine woman and a shamaness like me, the ground sage is really good to carry on hand. Not necessarily just white sage, but I got a couple of them and I just want to show you other sages that you can burn. So I got them in different brands. I got some cinnamon sticks. Here we go. So this is the one I was looking for. I also want to show you guys a really good drink, and this is not a promotion or anything, to do in your morning ritual juices. So I like getting this from my Super Walmart near me, and it's called Pineapple Ginger Nudsin Organic, and I mix that with the Anatolia Pure Organic Carrot Mix. Just a teeny bit of each in a little glass, and then I place some fresh lime, or sometimes this comes in handy, as well as some ground turmeric and some cinnamon powder, and then I'll place a cinnamon stick and a bay leaf, and then I will also sometimes place in papaya seeds, which I didn't grab last night, and I put a bay leaf in it, and then I stir it, and it's really a good zing drink, and it wakes up your whole system. So if you want to detox from spiritual energies, this is what I want to talk about today. It's like a shot to wake up your system. So I like to kind of chug that in the morning, and it's like zing, and it wakes up the whole system. The chakras align. It gets your digestive juices flowing. It also detoxes you from spiritual attachments. So we're going to talk about spirit attachments. We might talk about some soul pacts, like soul agreements, karma, and also sacred energy exchange. So I want to take a moment and find my owl shaker and shake for you any energies that may be lingering from the night before. Just say you weren't able to take your spiritual bath or your spiritual shower because of the weather, and you didn't want to wet your hair, or I don't know, because of whatever reason. And even though you'll take it later, it's important to cleanse your energy. So this is why I have some allies here, which is rubbed ground sage, the leaf of bay leaf, some jasmine, and some orange peel. So the jasmine is happiness first, the sage is for cleansing. The orange peel is to bring in abundance, call in abundance to your day. The tarragon and the rosemary on the bottom, it's a bed of it, but they're protective, and they push away negative energy. And then the bay leaf as well is a multifaceted herb, just like the spiced cinnamon, just like I was gonna say roses, but this has the power to push away, and this also has the power to pull in. This has so many more powers, but this is not a video about bay laurel today. I'll have to make a separate video of that. So I just want to kind of start off the day by like cleansing my energies and yours. Okay, cleansing is very important to keep your aura clean. And this lighter is not that great. So we just kind of want to set our intentions. You know, let's have a great day. I'm grateful for, you know, the running water. I'm grateful for my plant allies. I'm grateful for my spirit, my crystal spirits, my own spirit, my spirit guides. And then we want to do this as well. It's really important to set your intentions. So with me, we can set our intentions. I now cleanse what is the past, what no longer serves me. I cleanse it out of my mind, my mental. I cleanse it out of my auric field. I am clean energetically. I protect my boundaries. My boundaries are protected and strong. My energetic boundaries and my auric fields are protected and grounded. I choose to fortify my energy and my environment, my atmosphere. You know, you could say things like this. To cleanse, kind of, you know, sometimes people, and I also want to talk about astral projection in this video because this is a very real thing, especially if you're spiritual, and not just spiritual, but you're chosen. Like, I am straight up chosen by the divine. I'm a divine feminine. I'm part of the 144s, you know, the spiritual warriors, the angel incarnates, earth angels. But I also have fallen angel. Like, I have people who are fallen angels who, you know, we can't help what realm we derive from, that the gods, you know, make us from, our origins. And I'm also a walk-in soul, a starseed. So I want to talk about sacred energy exchange ties and spirit attachments as well. So first we're going to start off with spirit attachments. So and right now we're going to light our jasmine and call in happiness and the joy back to our lives. And I also want to light some cinnamon stick because that brings the sweetness back into our life. Okay, after being in the dark for so long, or maybe you had many dark nights of the soul phases, because you could have multiple in your spiritual involvement, or significantly worse, soul-shattering experiences, which we will talk about. Losing fragments of your soul, which can happen. So, spirit attachments are, and you can get them from sacred energy exchange ties. So sacred energy exchange is when you are intimate with someone else and it's an exchange of energy, right? So, you know, they're giving you their energy and you are giving them their energy, and you're exchanging energies and you're becoming one. But when they go about their day and they physically separate from you, they take on your energy that you've just given them, and then vice versa. And if they have a spirit attachment, some people were born with spirit attachments. Some people work with darker entities, or they call them darker entities to manifest what they want. And then unfortunately, you know, they'll use these types of darker spirits to achieve their goal, and then they will be attached to that spirit. So like, if you are intimate with someone with a spirit attachment, you are also going to take on that spirit attachment. So it's important to cleanse your energy, whether it's with a sage bath, a sage bath meaning the smoke of sage around your aura. Or if you want to do a sage bath tea, you could throw in, and make sure your skin's not allergic to this, because many people have sensitive allergies, and so you need to just make sure. Luckily for me, in this physical vessel, I am a walk-in soul, and this is not my original form. She has many Shamaness medicine woman gifts, and she was from a line of doulas, or medicine women, midwives, who, her great-grandmother was a midwife and would deliver babies, and she had many various plant allies, and herb allies, and she implicated them into her oils for the village people who, she would deliver babies for, and their yonis or their vaginal health. So like, in this body, like, the brain's part of the body. So although I am a walk-in soul, I still have memories, since her brain is connected to her body as part of the body, to where I know how to implicate her shamaness gifts and these medicine women herbal knowledge teachings into my everyday practice to revitalize my body, and then also to show these in my videos so I can make you more knowledgeable and you aware of, okay, wow, like I didn't realize, because maybe you're so busy, I didn't realize like how much Mother Earth's natural medicine, you know what I mean, can really help. If we put, a little bit of turmeric in our tea, or ginger, or lemon, or burn cinnamon, or burn sage. And when I say burn sage, like, I don't necessarily mean white sage sticks. You can if you want to, but you could literally go to the grocery store and you can get this rugged ground sage. I really like the spices section, because plant energies, they're so natural, they come from Mother Earth, there's no additives or chemicals in them, and you could implicate them into your detox morning routine drink, or your daily ritual teas, or your daily shower washes. If you do a shower wash, you could hang leaves of eucalyptus or even lavender in your shower, or basil. You could, you can make star anise tea. You can make a mixture of like bay leaf, star anise tea. Even coffee grounds are so natural. And I'm just like so glad that I can share all of this with you guys. So let's talk about soul packs and soul agreements now. And I made some herbal tea earlier. I boiled some herbal tea. In this herbal tea, it's ground cinnamon, star anise, which star anise is really important, as well as some oregano, and a teeny bit of tarragon. And it came out quite well. It's just not hot enough, because it kind of sat when I, had to prepare the video. And then also in my detox drink earlier, I added a little bit of some aloe to it, because I didn't have my lemon that I added to it. And this is really good if in the winter and you go for like walks, or you work out outside and like your throat gets parched. Aloe vera, even in little quantities, excuse me, it's very good for the the throat, to keep it moist. And I also want to say, like, because it's been so cold, this can be your best friend. It's Ricola Lemon Mint, and you can get this at your market, like wherever. You get it at Walmart. I'm sure Target sells it. You could get it probably at like Fresh Market or wherever you shop. Sprouts, Whole Foods, things like that. So I just want to tap on this. So we're going to talk about soul agreements and soul pacts, like PACTS, pacts. So what is a soul pact? A soul pact is when, before you were born, you agreed with another soul to reincarnate or come to Earth and have some sort of relationship together, whether it's a soulmate relationship, whether it's I don't want to say a twin flame, because a twin flame is very rare. It's only like 100, I think it's like only 144,000 souls of twin flames on this planet out of like 7.5 billion people in the world, or 8 billion people, however many people are in the world right now. And 144,000, that's very rare compared to 7 to 8 billion, Excuse me. So I just want to say that when you have a soul pact with somebody, excuse me, these can be kind of like more karmic, to the point where a karmic soul is where you come to planet to learn from the other person, but it's not a higher learning like you and a twin flame. And it's not a higher learning as much as you and your soulmate. There's different types of connections. And a lot of people will meet someone. Excuse me, it gets really cold. A lot of people will meet somebody and they will mistaken their karmic partner for a soulmate. And sometimes, even worse, they'll mistake a karmic for their twin flame. And not everybody gets a twin flame, because I've just said there's 144,000 twin flames, divine masculines and divine feminines, out of 7.5 to 8 billion people in the world. So obviously, we're very rare. Twin flames were also put here to awaken the planet, especially if they get past, which a lot of twin flames don't get past, the runner and chaser phase, which I can talk about in this video or another video. But the runner and chaser phase, it's one of the twin flame phases in that deep relationship, to where the divine masculine or the divine feminine, one of them will run and the other one will chase them, and then if they keep getting caught up in the phase, and then sometimes it's interchangeable, to where, like, okay, the divine masculine will stop running, and then the divine feminine is going to start running. So it's like a push and pull thing, but it shouldn't be toxic. And then a lot of twin flames get caught up in this phase, to where and this happened a couple years ago in the Soul Collective, where they were meeting their karmics. Okay, karmics are more lower vibrational. Yes, you learn from them, but once you learn from them, you're supposed to exit and part ways, and then that twin flame is supposed to return to its counterpart, because twin souls or twin flames, they were born of one soul, okay, split into two, which one is a divine masculine and one is a divine feminine. Not all the time is the woman can be the divine masculine one and be a woman, and have woman parts and everything, and just be masculine inside. Like, she acts from her masculine energy. I mean, not masculine inside, but like she's more like not tumultuous, but more like impulsive, aggressive, like that masculine fire energy. But she still embodies both divine feminine and divine masculine. It's very hard to explain on this human realm, because like I am from Bellatrix, and we are very telepathic there, and we communicate in light language, which light language, that's my mother tongue. Like, that is my original language, and I'm still trying to get used to the human speech. So in my previous videos and in this one, you will hear me kind of jumble the speech, because like my it's like a computer. Like, I'm an extraterrestrial being from the stars, and I'm in this body, so it's like a computer. Like, if you've seen The Fifth Element, and you've seen her like come to planet and then like learn everything while she's eating her chicken, it's almost like it processes so fast, like that. And then the humans who are not awakened, who are like very much in the system, in the matrix, whether it's like a policeman or a government agent, or even a reptilian who owns McDonald's. Like, they are so archonic and reptilian that they will systematically judge you and place you in the box of, oh, that person must be schizophrenic, or that person must be delusional or something, one way or another, because this is how mortals work, from lower vibrations and from the matrix and in the system, which that's a whole other video. So like, the twin flames were put here to integrate the planet and also bring so much divine love. Okay, and you could also have a false twin flame, to the point where you could think that they're your twin, and they could like mirror to you all of the twin flame phases, and you guys could, but later on he ends up being, or she ends up being, a false twin. And I know all of this stuff is really, really confusing. And I had my twin flame awakening, or she did, because I'm in her body, and sometimes you may hear me talk in first person or third person, and it gets confusing, I know, for mortals, but I do know, because I am from Orion, and I remember that whole situation to where I came down from the starship and I came into her body from the leaders, the Galactic Federation of Light, that sent me in my original form, which was my auric field, it is a blue ray. So it's blue, and then it has white with silver like glitter. And when she was screaming up to the stars, and I entered my light, and I entered in through her mouth, and then we both took on this form for 6 to 7 months, and then I fully integrated, and she left January 11th, 2026, and that was the week of May 19th through the 26th of 2025, which she ended up living her best life those last 6-7 months of her life. And when she chose to exit the body, because she did, you have to consciously choose and call on the gods and call on your star mothers, and she did. She called on her 7 sisters, excuse me, 7 sister star mothers in Pleiades, as well as her star fathers on Orion. And so the Galactic Federation of Light, we were on the starship, and it was all the leaders from Pleiades, Lyra, Andromeda, Arcturus, Orion, Atlantis, Lemuria, and so on and so forth. Pegasus, Rocancria, Neptune, Venus. And so there's star leaders from every single planet. They're almost like government agents, but they are of love and truth and light and ascension. They're all light. They're not darkness like the leaders on planet Earth. Like the leaders on planet Earth, unfortunately, the Alpha Draconians and the Reptilians, they're trying really hard to ruin Mother Gaia. And so this is why us star seeds have come down, because we exercise our healing and our shamaness gifts and our medicine gifts and our Reiki, as well as, we work with crystal energies to help integrate light, truth, ascension, evolvement, love to the planet and awakening, as well as use our talents and our powers to not only awaken and make you guys aware, but to heal mankind. Whereas an Alpha Draconian or a Reptilian will try to use the ego mind, which is very, very unhealthy. Egos, hatred, greed, disgust, things like lower vibrational energy agreements, like lower vibrations, and it's not good. So star seeds, we are the light and the love and the energetic frequency of the higher realms of 5D, and it ascends 60, 70, 80, 90, and it's 12D, and then it can even go further up depending on how spiritually ascended a star seed soul is. But she had her twin flame awakening back in 2012. So this was many years ago, and she was in her 20s, which now this body is 41. But the point of this was, it was a soul pact agreement, to where, they had made a pact to come to planet, to have their twin flame children, which they share 2 daughters together, and to, that whole runner chaser phase and all the phases of the twin flames, to have it. But then, back then, I'd say around from 2012 to 2017, it was like them. And then the darker karmics, the dark karmic witches came into play for the twin flame collective, and lots of divine feminines and divine masculines were affected by the dark karmic witches, and they started coming and wreaking their havoc into the collective of the twin flame collective in 2018. So when 2018 came, the whole planetary frequency of the twin flames and the love shifted, because there were these darker entities that were coming to attack the twin flame collective, just like a reptilian would come and blow up Lemuria, and it was like that. And it was a soul shock experience to these divine feminines or divine masculines who were losing their twin flames to these darker karmics and these lower vibrational entities, these lower frequencies, okay, who happens to be vampire witches. One of them tried to disguise herself as a druid witch. So she would be like, oh, I'm a druid, but druids are from the earth. But she was really a dark karmic witch from, she had spirit attachments. Okay, so spirit attachments to the darker realms of like the jinn, like DJINN, shadows. So she was a shadow. And then I just remember seeing my twin flame, because we were in like a huge runner chaser phase. And it was just like, I just remember seeing this video, or no, this picture, and like she had like this dark amulet on her neck, and I saw the spirit in her eyes, and I saw the spirit attachment, because my spiritual gifts allow me to see into someone's soul, and the windows to through the soul are through the eyes. Okay, so as well as I could see spirit attachments on your aura. I could see auras, I could read motives, I could read thoughts. I'm very telepathic. And for a long time, I felt like my gifts were a curse. And I was in this like soul fragmented pain. Like I didn't know how to utilize my gifts. I would be like a recluse. I wanted to hide under a rock every day. Like it was so strong. And the humans around me were just like talking like shit because they didn't know what the hell was wrong. And they would call me crazy, or they would say that she was depressed, or, they would judge me. And you already know how those societal judgments are for like those lower frequencies. But I was trying to figure out like, what the hell, like my twin flame got overtaken by a dark karmic, and I was telling the mortals, and they would look at me like, okay, she's crazy, like she's completely disconnected from reality. And it was just like my spirituality and my evolvement, it was so high at this point that I had to almost like eventually learn how to dumb myself down for mortals who weren't spiritually awakened, or who didn't have, spiritual gifts. And, we had nothing in common. Like they were so by the like, okay, go into the matrix, do a 9 to 5. If you feel like that, go to a therapist and get a diagnosis and go and get a check, and like just like really lower vibrational frequencies, because that's kind of like the lower vibrationals, and we'll talk about like energy vampires, and we're going to talk about like a lot of like lower frequencies. But I just remember like a lot of like the day that she went out to the forest, and she like, I just remember losing, like she was losing soul fragments when she found out that the dark karmic had put blood ties and blood roots and hoodoo and voodoo and all that lower vibrational magic. It was just so low vibrational. And in the picture I had seen, it was like she had connected a darker entity, an intranquil spirit. Okay, so what this woman did to my twin flame was she went online, she paid a spiritualist to trade my twin flame soul for an intranquil spirit, which intranquil spirits, they're so real. And it's really scary to like mortals, because they were like, oh my god, it's a demon. Like everything's a demon to them. But there's so many different realms of spirits that not everything is a demon. And demons are demonized. Okay, fallen angels have been demonized by the Abrahamic religions. But I'm saying like she had an intranquil spirit go into her twin flame soul, and then his original soul, who made the soul agreement, soul pact with her, went into, I don't know if you've seen this. It's like there's a movie, and it portrayed it so perfectly. It's called Get Out. Okay, so if you've seen the movie Get Out, if this happened, it was crazy, because it happened like right after, like that movie came out right after like this happened to her twin soul, her twin flame. So like in the movie Get Out, there's this guy, and he falls in love with this girl, and she takes him to like her family's house that's like deep hidden in the woods. And these people are so archonic, and they're like reptilian, and they're like masochistic and sadistic, and they hide it well, because they know how to be, like robots, like fake, like, oh, and smile for the camera, and like live a double life. So like they had slaves, and they were getting all of these unfortunate like souls, and they were bringing them back to the house. And the dude was like a surgeon, and he would like slice open the brain and like make these like victims of his daughter into, like, he would put like the white guy's brain or whatever into like a black dude's body. So like it was fucked up. Okay, excuse me, but it was just so mean, and so like more than mean. It was so cruel and inhumane and just disgusting and gross. But it was just like the mother was a hypnotherapist, and they had their daughter like taking all of these African American men back to their home that was hidden, and then she would have a teacup and a spoon, the mother, and she would hypnotize these black men and send them to the sunken place. So this is an example. The sunken place was like a black hole or a black pit. So this is an example, the best example I could think of, and that movie's called Get Out. So if you want to watch it or whatever, you will see what I mean. This dark karmic witch had a practitioner and took my twin flame, okay, and the practitioner had put an intranquil spirit into his body and then took his soul, his spirit, right, and to put it into that black hole, that sunken place, just like the dude in Get Out. And it's like Hollywood, they will portray, like, they'll act like it's fantasy, and they'll be like, oh no, it's just a movie. But no, they will portray like, oh, that's what's up, like that's what's really going on in their agenda. Like, look at these movies like Tom Cruise and War of the Worlds, and like those, the aliens that come up out of the ground, and then they act like they're like those towers for like, the government agents and stuff. Like, they're all like portraying like, okay, this is really like the New World Order, and we're gonna put this in I Am Legend with Will Smith. They created that. Like, look at the pandemic. Look at 2019. What happened in 2019? You know what I mean? In 2020. Look what happened to our world. So I Am Legend is kind of like, okay, they put COVID-19 into these, they unleashed COVID-19. Yes, they weren't like severe like zombies, but these were all like revelations from like the movies. Like, okay, like this really happened. Like, you got affected by COVID-19, and you have to get the COVID-19 injection, and they're like injecting you with these things, and they put injections in your children that cause autism and ADHD, ADD, and all of these things, depression, anxiety. Like, the government agents connected, they're all connected to the Alpha Draconians and the Alpha Reptilians. They're doing this to mankind. They're ruining the planet, okay? So starseeds like me and evolved souls like me and spiritually awakened souls, we're coming here to not only shed our like plant knowledge and things on Mother Earth, but we're coming here to awaken you guys and make you more aware about what's happening. Well, they pull you into the matrix every day, and they pull you into these 9-to-5s so they, can do what they want to do in their positions of power and poison and corrupt Mother Earth and the humans on it. So it's all like, you really have to pay attention and be aware. So like, yeah, she, the dark karmic, put, blood roots and blood ties, but also got a spiritual practitioner to trade her twin flame soul for the intranquil spirit, so he would be stuck there with her, because he would always email her and call her and be like, I'm coming back. And all the other times he came back. But then when she, found out that he was with, and we're going to call her Natalia, because that's like the nickname that she went by. So when he was like with Natalia, and it was literally Natalia Tuznak. That was like one of her like ally, like one of her names, aliases. I mean, her alias, not her ally. So when he went with Natalia Tuznak, I'm sorry, it's just so funny, because it's like, at this point, I just can't help but laugh about it, because it was like, it was old news, but it's like, I have to share this, but it really is serious. Like, Natalia Tuznak, it's just funny, like, it's just a joke now at this point. But when he went with Natalia Tuznak, and like, she put blood roots on him, and then he kept like emailing her, and so like, the original Samara Anaya, who was in this soul, or Jules Serana, or Serena Star, because that's what she went by, she was, she got affected, and she got like soul fragments. So she also got affected, because Natalia was throwing lots and lots and lots of dark magic on, Samara Anaya or Jules Serrana, and Jules was getting attacked like of one thing after another, to where like she was like, this is not right, like this woman is just like such bad news, because before this, like, she didn't have to get like surgeries to get sewn back up. Like, I mean, it was like she was trying to heal from a surgery, and then like she got like an infection in like her body, and then it's like she had to take antibiotics and do these burn creams, and it was just like ridiculous, like the severe like lower vibrational attacks from Natalia Tesnak. And this happened from like 2017 all the way up until let me think, like literally, like it happened from 2017 all the way up until like last year in the springtime. 2018 till like 2025, and then they kind of slowly tried to start again, like gradually. But then, this is why we implicate this into our practices, like these right here. You know what I mean? And it's important to implicate this, okay, into our practices, because if we don't implicate all of this, then the more evolved souls will suffer, and we don't want to suffer. So this is why it's very important to, for some reason I'm always losing this, and I don't lose things. So I just know that with this whole twin flame collective, a lot of divine feminines and divine masculines have lost their twin flames to dark karmic witches. And then when the dark karmic witches started coming, they were using magic on both twin flames to keep the runners, whether they were the divine feminines or the divine masculines, away from their counterparts. Which I just thought, like, this really makes sense now, because now I understand why Jules Serrana left her body. She left her body because she was such in pain, because when she had the twin flame love, he loved her so profoundly, and her goddess powers were flourishing, and she had her business, and she was able to, from that love, take it and create. And then when the dark karmic and also energy vampires stopped their love, because it was from different sources, she went into this soul shock experience to where her soul was achingly in pain, and she just couldn't do it anymore from like 2018 to 2025. And then she screamed to, her seven sisters, star Pleiades, star mother guides, and her Orion star fathers, like, take me, I'm leaving the planet now, like nothing is left. And this is why I have come into her body. And her family is getting really like, they are not getting adjusted. They're in denial. They won't accept it. They won't accept that my soul is literally in her body, because they see her body every day in her face. And so it was very hard for them to come to this acceptance. So what do? Is they'll be like, oh, she's crazy. Oh, she's delusional. You think you're a walking soul. And it's just like, it's kind of funny when a crazy person calls you crazy, and you're just like, whatever, bro. Like, I know myself, and I know my spirituality. You know what I mean? So, like, I just think it's funny how, like, people will get checks their whole lives, and they'll be delusional, and they'll have, like, obsessions and compulsions, and have, like, histrionic personality disorder, or, you know what I'm saying, schizophrenia, and then they have the nerve to call you delusional and crazy, and you're just like, bro, don't you get a check for that? Like, you're certifiable? Like, I just think it's funny that, like, they would label a spiritual person or a shamaness or a medicine woman crazy like them, and it's just like, maybe that's the only way they know how to vibe from. Maybe they don't know how to be any other way, so let's talk about energy vampires. Okay, so energy vampires are lower vibrational frequencies that hook into your auric field, and they like to bother you. Better yet, they like to rage bait you. So what is rage baiting? Okay, let's talk about rage baiting. Rage baiting is when people, hold on 1 second, try to make you angry, and they do specific things to set you off, or they say something directly to you or indirectly to you, and to try to trigger you, try to take you out of your calm energy. Okay, So many of us spiritualists, we naturally have a calming energy. But if you live in an environment with any of your roommates or any of your family members who are toxic or energy vampires, you're going to feel their sharp energy. So where it's going to take you out of your calm, tranquil, natural state. And you're going to act from your nervous system in your body, which is not really you, because it's all, you see, it's all connected. And you're just picking up those energetic vibes. And then they will be like, oh, she's always like, and the energy, you know, and they won't be supportive. They'll always try to rage bait you. They'll always try to triangulate you and just like make you feel attacked, or they will straight up attack you. Like whether it's through hatred, and you could feel this being an empath, whether it's through those lower, so let's talk about lower frequencies. So my friend and I, JD, yesterday, who is a spiritualist, he's a JDD spiritualist on TikTok, we were talking about energy vampires, as well as we were talking about those lower vibrational frequencies, rage baiting, through rage baiting. And he was like saying like how when a rage baiter does this, you know, they will try to trigger you. So like, you know, they'll do things to sabotage your plans, or they'll do things to sabotage your progress so you won't be successful. And they will do these things to pull you outside of your natural state of calming, healing energy. If you're a healer, or if you are a shamaness, or, you know, a Reiki master teacher, a spiritual teacher, or whatever you are in your spiritual journey, and they will try to hook into your energy, and they will try to get your good energy and steal your joy, and then they'll energetically hook into you and then suck your chi life force energy. So they will suck it, and then boom, it's like the hook like will be in, and they'll know how to get under your skin and keep taking your energy if you let it. So the point is not to show them any reaction. So when JD was telling me, like, you know, you can't react, like they're gonna try so hard to like not rock your world or knock you down, but they're gonna try so hard to like get underneath your skin and like trigger you basically, and like they're gonna try so hard to do things to make you mad and get you, basically, like what I'm gonna say is they're gonna try so hard to get you out of your element, and they're gonna try to get you out of your natural state of being, to the point where they're going to get you upset, and they feed off of your upset. They feed off of confusion. So like if they manipulate you, they can manipulate you, you know what I'm saying? And then they'll feed off of that hook to your pineal gland, to where they're trying to confuse you in your third eye chakra. So this is why we're going to cut the cords. So it's very important to, and I'm just going to reach in your pineal gland, and I'm going to kind of make a hook that is not going to perforate your energy physically. It's just going to energetically take out the hooks, because as my friend JD was saying, it's very low vibrational. Like low vibrational to the point where if you're a spiritually evolved soul and you're all the way vibing up in 12D, and then they're so low vibrational to where they're 2D, 3D, your energetic frequencies are not going to correlate. They're not going to be on the same energetic frequency as you. So what energy vampires need is they need, you know, to suck your chi life force energy, because they were not born with the divine God light. They were not born with a divine light or a source light. They're energy vampires. They were just bleak, like just gray, like just like they weren't born with, you know, the gifts that you have as well. They weren't born with the divine source, like if you're a goddess incarnate or a god. Okay? And lots of us who are on this goddess frequency and starseed frequency, you know, we can go all the way up past 12D, you know, and then like when you enter the matrix, you enter back into like a bunch of basic like bots, or like basic mortal ass like bitches. Like you're just like, I have nothing in common with you. You're so archonic, and then like they will be just so low vibrational that they will just be living from their ego. You know, they'll be shallow, they'll be living on the surface, they'll just be floating by. they'll just be in the 9 to 5, and they'll say things like, they'll say things to make you mad. They'll say things to trigger you, and then they will laugh about it, and then they'll go into groups, and then they'll gang up on you, and this is all low vibrational. So like the targeted ones, the black sheep, the chosen ones, the ones with gifts, we often really like our solitude. We know how to be alone. We know how to protect and shield our energies and cloak our thoughts, and we have all of our spiritual gifts, and we'd rather be like, I don't want to sit at that table. Like I value my alone time because I'm protecting my energetic boundaries. I'm protecting my aura. I don't want that energy over here by me. And then they will sit there and be like, oh, she has no friends. And they'll be like such haters. And you're just like, and then they'll have the nerve to project and say, oh, she's a hater. And then they'll project on you. So it's important to shake these negative energies out and cut the cords. So with the shaman rattle here, and they'll also lurk. So if you're an energy vampire and you're just coming into okay, something is wrong, that you're a vampire, so what are signs of vampires? They're nocturnal. They like being up at, all hours of the night, stay up at night a lot. They cook meat all the time, bacon, steak, whatever. They're shaped like alpha draconians, a lot of alpha draconians, those darker shadows. They have those archon, those broad shoulders. They're tall. You know what I mean? I could see it because, my spiritual gifts, I could see the souls in bodies. And also it almost feels like a curse because you'll be going about your day, and then you'll see this archon, this reptilian alpha draconian, and you're just like, God, not him again. Get him away from me. You know what I mean? And then it's just you'll telepathically, he's a starseed too, and then you'll have this telepathic, you could read each other's thoughts, and then you'll hear his thoughts, you will read his thoughts, and then he'll be trying to control the other mortals in your realm against you, and you're just wow, really, and he'll think that he has so much power and control, and it's just so low vibrational. It's learn what you are, learn what realm you're from, and then integrate. If you have hatred and if you are really trying to manipulate people or use your telepathy for the wrong of mankind rather than the greater of mankind, it's you're creating lots of negative karma in your future lives as well as, later on in life for you, because what comes around goes around. And, it's just, you have to learn how to implicate your energies to how an alchemist acts. She could act from her shadow self or her light self, and a true alchemist knows how to integrate which, into her practice every day. So we're going to kind of just pull out these hooks that any archons, energy vampires, even lower vibrational dark karmic witches, or alpha draconians. And yes, my channel, it's very deep. So what I talk about, it's deep stuff, and I was made for this journey. And if you're just awakening, welcome to your spiritual involvement. And it's soul shattering. Yes, it's a lot of pain when you become awakened and you see the truth and you see what really goes on behind the scenes, with your gifts, whether it's seeing someone's soul or their spirit, or seeing a reptilian go into your cousin, and then literally try to shapeshift. And I've seen the shapeshifters' eyes, their eyes are very, it'll be a ring around the outside of their eyes, and they're chameleon, they glow at night. So I had an ex who was a reptilian in a plaza that I came from last year, and I'm not going to say any names, but every time we'd sit in his black Passat, at night, the rings around his eyes would glow. And then also there was someone at my old job at Bubba who used to work there. It was my other ex's ex-girlfriend, to the point where she was a monitoring spirit. So like you have to be careful with monitoring reptilian spirits, because monitoring spirits, and a lot of Abrahamics or even spiritualists that aren't really fully evolved yet, because you could be like a baby practitioner and just be starting and not have experience, which isn't your fault. Like you have to start, at some point or somewhere. But monitoring spirits will be in these reptilian beings, and they will literally, just be standing there, like lurking, like behind the scenes, like listening to like every part of your life, so they know, and they can hold these things against you. They could hold it against you, whether to their narratives of others, to try to see, they will tell your business, and then they will push that negative connotation that they have in their brain onto others, so others can see you in that negative light, and so they won't like you and they'll turn against you, and then they'll try to like put obstacles in your path or try to block your growth and try to keep you down on their lower vibrational energetic frequency, so they could keep pulling your life force and keep feeding off of your upset and keep feeding off of your confusion, so you don't implicate your gifts and your creativity and grow into your god or goddess power. So they try to suck your good energy, and they're feeding off of this. And the sadistic energy vampires will feed off of your upset, they'll feed off of your sadness, they'll feed off of your anger, and they'll get and you'll feel it, like you'll feel them like like that ego, like I got her upset, like stupid bitch, like like lower vibrational, like basic bitches, like you already know like how the haters manufacture, like you already know how they work, like they're like that, and then they will project on you. They won't take accountability for anything that they've done to you, but then they will project exactly what they are onto you. So it's like everything that they plotted on you, or everything that they're plotting on you, they're going to project it once they rage bait you and get you out of your natural element. So this is why it's important every day to cut cords and to clear your energy, to keep your energetic auric boundaries and your aura clean and free of these hooks, because a lot of healers, right now we're coming into a new age of healers, and lots of healers are waking up, and we're waking up to our inner power, and we're waking up out of the matrix and creating our own businesses, and doing content like this, and others, unfortunately, who won't, who will be a lower vibrational energy, who will operate on the lower frequencies, will try to sabotage you, and they will try to rage bait you, or they will try to blackmail you and manipulate others against you and hook you. So this is the point of, okay, we're going to clear and shed this energy, we're going to shake it away. This is why shamans, we know how to clear ourselves from their evil plots, and because reptilians, like if you're a reptilian and you're watching this, I really have nothing to really say directly to reptilians, but I will say for the healers, you know how to guard yourself. You know how to guard yourself against a reptilian, against an alpha draconian or reptilian draconian. Please protect yourself at all costs, because reptilians are the opposite star race of me, and I really just, they blew up Lemuria, they blew up Mintaka, they blew up Atlantis, and then they had the nerve to like come to Mother Earth and then fool these mortals and these humans and say like, oh, everything's fantasy, and like portray them in like attractions like Universal and be like, oh no, it's fake, it's fantasy, it's just the movies, and then like brainwash mortals to think that. But mermaids are very much alive, on star realms like the Pleiades, or the and that's some orange peel for abundance and prosperity. So it's important to just clear yourself from monitoring souls, because there will be people who are, lurking behind the scenes and really just going to spread like lies and rumors about like the truth of you, and then like make you to be out someone you're not, like make you out to be someone you're completely not. So those people will turn against you and treat you badly, or the whole point of them is just trying to feed off your energy, like, and try to feed off of like that confusion, that anger, that, you know, sadness, so they could take it for their own energy, because they don't have a source light. So they're going to try to hold you down to their level so you don't succeed and progress, or so you don't get the truth out, because they need to feed. Okay, so it's just like a prey and a predator thing. They need to feed, just like a power plug. I always say this, like, you know, you need to charge your phone, you're going to hook that into the wall to get power, right? So that's like how energy vampires operate. And then they'll be monitoring spirits depending on, okay, is this energy vampire, yes, they're a lurker, but are they just low vibrational basic bitch, or are they energy vampire reptilians, or are they energy vampire alpha draconians? There's different types of energy vampires. Are they energy vampire jinn? Are they energy vampire shadow people? And then energy vampires from alpha draconians can have the spirit attachments to the shadow people realm. And so it's just such dark energy, and it's just so low vibrational, to the point where they will plot on your whole downfall of your life and try to make you lose all of your happiness. But if you keep standing straight in your strength, and you keep persevering, and you keep shedding your gifts, and you keep being true to yourself, your authenticity, your life's purpose, there's really nothing that they could fucking do anymore. Like, they really just can't. So as long as you keep like persevering and like you're on your spiritual path, they could say whatever they want. They could take everything away from you, but they can never take your soul. They can never take who you are. They can't take your authenticity. They can't take what you were born to do on planet. Okay, so if you're going through a trying time, like, just keep moving forward. This is all I have to say to the collective right now. And you know, for the divine feminine twin flames, the soul collective of the divine feminines that lost their divine masculines to dark karmic witches, or for the soul collective of the divine masculines who lost their dark, you know, who lost, excuse me, their divine feminine powers. I mean, their divine feminine. See, I have a archon trying to hook into me right now, and he does this all the time, like trying to stop me, and he does it with his telepathy, and I'm not listening. So no. So if you are a divine masculine who lost their divine feminine to a dark karmic, like, you know, that soul shattering experience. Yeah, like, so like they will try to hook in. So like another thing is, as well, is Serena Star, Jules Serrana, she went to the goddess realm, okay, and she went, no, I'm not listening to you, bye, leave my aura, you have no permission to enter. He's doing this thing telepathically where he's trying to stop me from explaining in my video, and he does this shit through energy vampire. So I'm going to keep spreading my truth and my light. He does this to my mother too, and as well as to his mother, and he learned how to use this fucking power for like the worst of mankind instead of the greater good, unfortunately. So I'm going to keep telling my story of the Twin Flame Collective as well. So I do want to say that if you lost your divine masculine or your divine feminine, and I want to talk about, like, even though if you are a woman and you could be the divine masculine counterpart, and your divine, you know, your man could be the divine feminine. It doesn't mean like anything like that, like, you know, the divine feminine is weak, like he's a weak man. It just means that like he also could interchangeably move from, as well as when he got stolen by the dark karmic witches, and then the intranquil soul in that body will make him so calm that it will force him into a sort of feminine energy, to where, you know, this is what happened with my twin flame. So, but if you are a woman, you could also be the divine masculine. Just because you're a woman doesn't mean that you have to be a divine feminine twin flame counterpart. And then also I want to say, you know, when divine feminines did lose their divine masculines, it pushed divine feminines into a more masculine energy, to the point where, you know, she acted more aggressive because her soul was in such pain and that anger. And if you know about goddess rage, you know about sacred goddess rage, which is a whole other video. You know about having that masculine energy and acting from that masculine fire. Okay, so this is what I wanted to also say. So it's really extensive. If you are on a spiritual journey and you know, the mortals, like you have to dumb yourself down for mortals every day because they're completely on a different energetic frequency, to where like they plot your demise, or like they don't understand you, and then so you're automatically crazy just because they can't comprehend it. You know what I mean? And it's just sad. So I do want to say that I am going to be, this is a lot of information, and I'm going to be using this, and I'm going to be cutting as well. And then I want to say our energetic boundary frequencies. So we're going to set our intentions. I am fortified in my energetic boundaries. I am protected. No energy vampire has access to my energy. You are not allowed to siphon or suck my energy. These are my energetic boundaries. My energetic boundaries are fortified. They are strong and protective. And then they will get angry and they will try to make you upset, to like hook you or take you out of your calm element. And they'll do things to rage bait you. So as long as you stay calm and centered in your own energy and ignore it, then that's all that matters. Because you know, they're going to try to suck the energy right when you get upset, or right when they sense, okay, I'm getting a rise out of her. They're going to take that. They're going to take your good energy, and even they're going to feed off your upset. So let's do some Reiki now. And then we're going to do the Seikeihi. I just did the Choku-rei. We're going to do these symbols here. We're going to kind of fluff your aura now, because we were cutting and there was like lots of information for you to absorb today in the session. We're going to fluff your aura like this. I am a Reiki master, certified in Usai Reiki, 1-2 in master, teacher. I got my certifications in 2019. I'm also a fire Reiki practitioner as well. I'm going to also place some runes, okay? Protective runes into you. I'm putting this all around your aura. I'm going to also call in Rado, very protective spirit of the runes. Yes, I could read rune stones. They're spiritual tools. I don't need cards or runes to, you know, this is when I was a baby practitioner and I used to have my business. And that was all just like very like, that was essential to start my spiritual growth. Like I've collected crystals since I was 5. And crystals are very important to implicate, okay, because they also, I just picked up on his thoughts and he was like, he wanted to like throw my crystals away, which is really evil, but they will try to ruin you. I mean, I can't control an alpha draconian. They try to control me, but I don't let it happen. For 40 years, I was getting controlled by this force, and I didn't know what it was until my 40th year of life. So now that I'm aware, I know how to protect myself, okay? So this one is Lemurian, and he comes from, yes, Lemuria, and he is a angel titanium, angel aura quartz. And you could tell like he's from the higher starseed realms. He looks like a coral reef. I actually have all my kids and me, we have this. We have a crystal. Me and my baby share this one. And then my oldest son's is this one, which this one's from Sirius and Pleiades. And then my fairy daughter's is this one. And then they'll also, I want to talk about like how they try to hook into you and cause like cosmic zaps or pain, try to like hook into your body. Like if they know their telepathy is not working to control you, they will try to come and spiritually attack you with trying to hook their shadow spirits. They'll send a shadow spirit or a spirit attachment to you, these lower vibrational witches, on just the 3D basic bitch fucking realm, and they will send a spirit to try to fuck with you. So like this one, he sent a spirit to mess with my daughter, and she had to get a tumor taken out of her spinal column. Luckily it wasn't a cancerous tumor, but she survived it. Then he tried to come for my youngest son and tried to basically put like formaldehyde and like bird poop or whatever in between his high chair in the room, and it was just like spiritual attack after spiritual attack. So this is why I am very knowledgeable about my energy and who I share my gifts with, and I know exactly who plays what role around me. You know, I have to spread my gifts, my truth, and my light, as well as be conscious and then spread this conscious awareness as well to the collective, because I lived it. I've lived through it, and I'm a warrior spirit. I've done more than survive it. I've done more than survive it. So when you feel, you know, these energetic hooks that like energy vampires and alpha draconians hook into you, you feel it affects your nervous system. It makes you jittery. It makes you feel like you've drinking like 100 liters of caffeine. It makes you feel anxious as fuck. And then you start feeling their energies. If you are an energetic empath, you sponge them. This is why it's important to use lots of sage baths, which means like smoke cleansings, cutting cords, to clear your energy so you could come back to your natural state and be who you are, not what they want to control you as. Because alpha draconians, they want to control you. They want to control everything around you. They want to control your life. They want to spread lies and rumors about you. They want to make you look bad in front of others, so they will attack you. I mean, they're so wicked and so low vibrational to the point where you're just like, dude, please chant, like learn. And I know that there are some alpha draconians healing right now. I've read comments on YouTube. It's like, if you're awakening to your alpha draconian essence and you know that something is wrong with you, please channel that energy into something that you love, instead of channeling energy for the wrong of mankind. Like, don't channel hatred. Like, go to the gym for 5 hours. Don't go and text like your mom or your grandma about someone. Like, fucking deal with that shit like you're like your own person, like a man or a woman. Deal with it and go to the gym and work it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to ruin reputations of people just because you're feeling some type of way. That's so low vibrational. And this is what a lot of them do. They will try to ruin spiritual empaths and people with spiritual gifts, whatever your spiritual gift is. If you have multi-spiritual gifts like me, we feel things, we sense things, we see things, we notice things, you know, and we're so spiritually evolved. Like, I could literally see the type of spirit in your body. I know your motives. You cannot lie to me. So like when his father walked into my life when I was like 10, I sensed and I saw all of this and I saw it coming, and I was just like, this is going to be, I knew that it was going to be some heavy ass shit, like some heavy ass dark energy. And I knew, I just didn't know what realm at the time because I was so little, you know what I mean? But I always had my gifts ever since I was born. Like, I've had these spiritual gifts. My mother knows that I'm different. She knows, you know, he does. And they tried to like hook into her. And then like one time I read like a text of like, she like defended me when his mom was like pushing her to like tell me to do something. And it's like, she was just like that's up to me to tell her, like, do not tell me to tell her this, you know what I mean? Because she was like, they were like trying to like put this archonic agenda on my mother and try to like control her and control my life. And it was just like, mind your business. Like, do something that you love to do. Just because you don't like me, don't come for me. That's not my problem. That's your problem with me. That's why like it's important to do yourself in this world, because people will have these archonic plans, and it's important to clear your energy every day. So we are going to do this as well. That's him in the background right there. that you heard that voice. It's always lurking around me. So it's important to clear your energy. You'll hear him in the background now. Sorry if you heard my tummy grumbling. Sometimes I go on these fasts. Like last night I had like seaweed for dinner, like seaweed wrap, just straight up seaweed wrap. So like I was kind of like almost intervally fasting, but I wasn't. Oops, I got a little bit of ground ginger on my black tourmaline right here. Kind of put the zest back into life. Put that energizing, like vitality energy back into your aura and your spirit. That's what burning ginger is good for. You could also implicate this into your drinks. But I very much like the powdered herbs because they help. Let's start pulling and cutting. There's a cinnamon stick I accidentally forgot to pick up last night that I dropped. So this is ginger. And this is very like sing. And this is the smoky quartz right here. And this is just what I need. I need the smoky amethyst. Smoky quartz and amethyst put together is a force. It's a whole force. The smoky quartz puts a fortified energetic boundary around your aura, and the amethyst guards and protects. It could protect your dreams. It also can protect you. Amethyst is a lot like bay laurel. It's a multifaceted crystal. It has many diverse gifts. I think I accidentally gave her my lighter. I did, and I accidentally kept her lighter. Oops. So this is cleansing with this. Rubbed. So it's like a powder, and I have them in like different forms. So some of them will say rubbed sage, some of them will say ground sage. But you don't have to get like a sage leaf. You could just get powders and burn them. Which herb allies are the best. I hope you enjoyed the energetic session. I love you guys, and I will come back and do more sessions. And remember, you are the embodiment of truth, you are the embodiment of love, and you always act from your heart center. And I hope this session helped you, as well as please subscribe. And if you want to make a donation, I am open to equal energy exchange, to where I share my spiritual gifts and my knowledge, my Reiki healings, my spiritual teachings, my Shamaness teachings, my starseed teachings, in exchange for earthbound currency, which is money, and I will put my Cash App in the description box below. I love you guys. Always stay true to yourselves. Don't run with the crowd, okay? This is a channeled message. Don't run with the crowd. Work on yourself every day to be a better version of yourself than the last day, okay? If you're getting attacked right now, do not give up. If you're getting attacked, if you feel like these lower vibrations are pulling on your aura, if they're attacking your things, if they're attacking your reputation, or like the way people see you, keep going. Ignore them. Don't let them rage bait you. And just, vibe from your gifts. Like, be true to yourself and your whole life purpose. I love you guys. And shed your light today and keep going. Keep moving forward and keep moving up, okay? Don't vibe with the lower vibrational karmics. Blessed be.